Hello guys, it's me Danny96 back here for another video, and today we'll be making our round 1 predictions for the 2025 AFL season. So finally, after our first week, we are done, and yeah, there wasn't too much obviously with just the 2 games, but they were, I guess, yeah, interesting games to get things started. It's been a while since we've had footy, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have 4 games, but we were left with the 2. And as you can see, we only got one of those games correct. It was pretty hard to tip, to tip both correctly, but yeah, we ended up getting the GWS tip correct, which they absolutely demolished Collingwood. And yeah, that was a pretty big surprise. And then Sydney, well, I thought they were going to get it done, considering, you know, they were opening the season, their new coach, and, you know, their home ground, but Hawthorn were just simply too good. And yeah, I mean, these, yeah, I don't know what to say. There's only 2 games that just happened, really early signs, but yeah, it would have been good to have those 2 games, which this one's been moved to round 3 and this one's been moved to round 24 for some reason, which is an interesting decision. But yeah, so I'm just gonna head into the next week. And so here we are, round 1 officially. I mean, like, surely this should be the opening round. I don't know, yeah, it just feels like it's been taking so long to see all the teams finally get a chance to play, and we will get to do so. So yeah, this is one to look forward to. And yeah, we've got a couple good games, and well, starting with the traditional opener we have right here, it is of course Richmond versus Carlton, playing at the MCG on the Thursday night. This is going to be huge. Huge in the way that the crowds will be back to Melbourne, and I mean, the game itself, it's going to be very one-sided, I think. I think this one should be an easy tip, I hope, as Richmond, well, they're going to have a long year. I'm predicting them to be the wooden spooners for this year, and yeah, it is not the greatest of all. I mean, it used to be the other way around. I mean, Carlton used to be at the bottom while Richmond were winning all these games between each other, but now the roles have reversed, and it is, yeah, surely Carlton's time to win this game. And really, I think they will win by a fairly big margin. I think this will be very one-sided from the start, but it will be interesting to see how Carlton go this year. They are looking, well, I would say surely they are looking good this year, and maybe a top 4 spot, but really, I think surely they make the top 8 this year once again, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, for this first tip of round 1, I am going to tip Carlton. I mean, I just have to, and yeah, I am going to predict the margin to be 57 points, and I'm rating this game as 72 to get things started. For those that are new, the ratings for this game, when I mean 72, it's out of 100, and it just means the excitement level. So 100 being super exciting, which was like the grand final last year, and 72 meaning it's an okay game, you know. It's an okay game. And speaking of an okay game, this one's not like just okay, this one's going to be huge. And well, yeah, let's get straight into it. Hawthorn up against Essendon at the MCG. Wowie, this is going to be good. Now, I noticed the odds are very one-sided, which is interesting. I see this being more of a 50-50 game. I mean, it's at the G, prime time footy. Yeah, this will be one to watch. I mean, I'm curious to see how Essendon go. Essendon looked pretty good in their preseason. They had some positive signs, and yeah, now it all comes down to this test. I mean, this is not the easiest test, but this is one that will say a lot, I reckon. I mean, Hawthorn had a pretty great win last week against Sydney. Yeah, they just looked really good, and they looked back to where they were last year. And honestly, I hope that continues. I mean, they got really close. They lost in the semi-final against Port. They could have made a prelim. If they did make a prelim, they would have versed Sydney, and we saw what happened last week. Yeah, they're back at the G. They played really well at the G, as I remembered last year, so I think that will just continue on. But I do think it will be a close game for sure, and this one's exciting. Yeah, I just can't wait. But yeah, for this tip, I have to tip Hawthorn to get this win. It's going to be one to watch. I am predicting the margin to be 16 points, and I'm rating this game a 94. Now looking down here to the Saturday, and we've got 4 big games. I mean, it's so good to have a day just full of footy. And yeah, this is going to be finally the time I've all been waiting for. 4 games and 4 quality games. It's going to be great to watch. But starting with this first one, this one's going to be, yeah, really interesting, I reckon. It's between Geelong and Fremantle, playing at GWS Stadium in Geelong on the Saturday afternoon game. And yeah, this one is, well, going to be interesting. I feel for the Fremantle fans who have to wake up, like, I think this game starts at like 10:20. It's 2.5 hours or 3 hours behind Victorian time. So for their first game, having to wake up this early, it's going to be painful for them. I could understand. But yeah, they headed to Geelong, and already that's going to be a hard task for them. Geelong last year made the prelims, and they almost got to the grand final. They didn't, and they will probably be looking for something to get back on track towards that path once again. And yeah, this will be a good start for them, I reckon. I mean, the one team they would probably worry against when playing at home would be Fremantle, because they have historically won at the ground a fair few times recently. So I guess that will be the question mark. I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but it could. It definitely could. But yeah, I just want to see the contest and see what it puts up. And yeah, this would be a great way to start a Saturday. But for my tips for this game, I am going to go for the safe tip for this game. And yeah, I'm just going to go Geelong. I mean, at home, they're probably one of the best teams that play at home, as we've seen. But yeah, I'm keeping it safe. I'm predicting the margin to be 25 points. And I'm rating this game an 83. Going down here, and well, I mean, this one's going to be huge. I keep saying this, it's going to be huge, but this is the grand final rematch. And already, round 1. I mean, we're just getting started here with the season, and we're getting the grand final rematch. This one's going to be the hardest tip, I reckon. It's between Sydney and Brisbane, playing at the SCG, and yeah, this will be hard to tip. Sydney, as we saw, played last week and only lost by 20 points, but that last quarter was not great for them. They were basically in the game, but then pulled away, and then they got back in it and then just pulled away again. So yeah, I guess some concerns for that. And as for Brisbane, I mean, the reigning premiers playing their first game. Last week they should have played, but they this time are getting the chance, and what a time to do so. I mean, yeah, can they get back on that premiership way once again? This will be a great match to watch. I mean, I can't wait. Because, yeah, I think there'll be lots of consequences. I mean, if Sydney lose, they'll be 2-0 to start the season, and losing 2 home games would just be a big concern for them. So yeah, I'm predicting this game to be a close one, and this one, as I said, is hard to tip. I really want to tip Brisbane for this one, but I am going to go for the underdog tip. And for that, I will be tipping Sydney for this game. I think, yeah, this will be just an interesting clash, and it will be a close one, I reckon. So I think they will get their first win finally in this game, and I think the margin will be 10 points. And I'm rating this game a 95. This one's going to be huge, and this one will definitely be one to watch. Now we go down here, and we have our first Saturday night game. Well, actually, there's 2 Saturday night games, but this one's the first game at Marvel Stadium for the season. And this one looks like it's going to be a contest for sure. It's between the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne, playing at Marvel Stadium on the Saturday night. And yeah, this one has, a lot riding. North Melbourne, as we know, have finished bottom, well, close to the bottom, around that area for the past few years already. They're looking to change that for sure. I mean, can they? They can get started early on, then this could be the game for them. I mean, against the Bulldogs, we don't know what they're going to pull up this year. I reckon they'll do fairly well this year. Don't know if they'll make the 8 or not. They do have some controversies before or during the season, of course, with some of the issues that they have. But yeah, this will be interesting. Again, I think this game will be closer than what we think. I mean, the odds are going towards the Bulldogs, of course. But again, I'd see this being more 60%, 40%. I think North could maybe pull it off. Whatever the case is, I think this will be an interesting game and a good way to open both of these teams' accounts. Yeah, really don't know what to expect from this game. It's hard to predict the round one tips because, yeah, you just don't know what's going to happen and how these teams are going to perform. But yeah, for this game, I am going to go for the safe tip, of course. And yeah, I have to tip the Bulldogs at home. And yeah, they might get kickstarted in their season. I'm predicting the margin to be 22 points. And I'm rating this game as 79. Now looking at the last Saturday night game. And this one is huge as well. This is... whoa. Yeah, I don't know. This is more 50-50 as well. I mean, it has to be. It's between Collingwood and Port Adelaide playing at the MCG for this Saturday night game. And this one is going to be one to watch again. And the stakes for this one are high, I reckon. I mean, Collingwood, they did lose last week. And honestly, it's a pretty bad loss. So they come back at home. And if they don't perform, then things will start to show. And yeah, some question marks, some big red flags will start to show. So in other words, this game will be very consequential for them. And yeah, as for Port Adelaide, I mean, they are opening their season in Melbourne. It won't be an easy game at all. I mean, the fans will be out against them. And yeah, under Ken Hinkley's last season, can they produce something? I mean, yeah, they really want to get back up on the top 4 once again. And this game will be the start, I guess. I think from this game, we'll learn a lot from both of these sides for sure. And yeah, this one I'm excited for. This game I'm really excited for. And it's going to be another one of those games that will be very hard to tip. Because I really don't know what to expect from these both. And each season is always different. So yeah, I just don't know. But if I was to make a tip for this first game, this one's going to be hard. But I am going to make an upset tip for this game. I don't know how it's going to go, but might as well give it a try. I think that's one of my first... no, it's my second one that I'll be doing. So I will be tipping Port Adelaide for this game. They do have a couple injuries though, so that might be a concern. So if Collingwood win, I wouldn't be too surprised. But yeah, I'm going to tip Port Adelaide for this game to win by 9 points. And I'm rating this game a 92. I mean, this one's going to be huge. We'll see how this game goes. Yeah, we'll see. Now heading down to the Sunday games, and there's 3 of them to end the round. And these 3 games look good. Starting with the first one, it's between Adelaide and St Kilda, playing at the Adelaide Oval on the Sunday afternoon. And this game starts at 12:05, which is really early once again. Don't know why, but yeah, I don't know why. And yeah, this game will open these 2 teams' seasons. And the Crows are expected to be the biggest risers for this season. I mean, they didn't have a great season last year. They were expected to do much better, but they didn't. And I think they will do much better. Potentially, maybe making it to the 8s. They haven't done that in quite a while, so we'll have to see how they go. But with the team against St Kilda, who have been struggling past few seasons, this will be a big test. And it won't be an easy test for them. I mean, they haven't won in Adelaide in quite some time. It's been a fairly long time actually. Maybe 2020 or 2021 was their last time. But yeah, can they pull it off? It's going to be very hard, of course. Yeah, this tip's very one-sided as you can see. And yeah, for this tip, I am sticking the safe option. And I'm just thinking like, surely the Crows get this game done for their side. I mean, everyone's expecting it. I'm expecting it. And they, I think, will be the winners. And I think they'll win by 34 points. and I'm ranking this game at 77. Now looking down here, and another game in Melbourne. This time it's another interesting game. This one, yeah, it's between Melbourne and GWS playing at the MCG on the Saturday afternoon slot, and this is one, Melbourne are starting the season while GWS are looking good. GWS, as we know, won against Collingwood, and it was a very convincing win. They looked really good, and if their form continues, they will be up on the blocks and up against Melbourne, who had an interesting off-season. This will be, a big start for them. Everyone will be watching this game. I'm just curious to see how Melbourne go this season. I want to watch, I reckon. I don't think will do as well this season compared to previous years. So yeah, I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but if they surprise me, then that would be great. I guess the question is, how can they rebound the performances of last year? They were definitely off with that. So can they recover it this season? We'll have to wait and see. And can the Giants continue their consistency and continue their streak of wins? They are looking big favourites for this one, and that is where my tip is going to go. I will predict them to win by 19 points, and I'm rating this game an 81. Now looking at the last game of the round one, which feels like the second round really, but round one, and we have the last two teams who haven't played a game yet, and it's between West Coast and Gold Coast, playing at Optus Stadium in a Sunday afternoon slot. And this one is, I would say, I don't know who to tip for this one. I could see both ways going for this one. I could see West Coast winning this one, but I can also see Gold Coast winning this one too. Gold Coast had an interesting season last year. They won most of their home games and then lost most of their away games. Whereas West Coast were just very inconsistent and down at the bottom, close to the bottom they were. Can they recover this year? I think they could, but not by much. I do definitely see Gold Coast rising though for this season, and this will be one to watch. They haven't played finals before. I think this year they will get close to it, and if they want to get close to it, this is the game that they just have to win for sure. It will be a test for them, I reckon, against the away crowd. It will be one to watch. Again, this is more of a 50-50 game, I reckon. I could see both teams winning this one, as I said. For this final tip, I'm gonna go for the safe option and go Gold Coast to get their win and start their campaign of potential wins ahead. And that is the last game of the round. I am predicting them to win by 20 points, and I'm rating this game an 85. And just like that, that is my round one tips done and dusted. Just like that, it's gonna be a hard week of tipping. Don't know how many of these are gonna get correct. I might be completely off, but we'll wait and see. Finally, we'll get a full round of footy, and I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be good. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next time. Bye bye.